What up guys? What's up cycling fanatics? Oh. Today I'm in Chaam together with my teammates. Cycling fanatics! Yay! Good morning guys. Just arrived in Chaam. That's in Brabant. It's a southerly part of the Netherlands. Getting ready for the race. It's gonna start in about 1 hour. I saw some guys from my club and we're all looking forward to the race. Everybody here is parking on the grass, which is pretty normal in the Netherlands because we don't have crazy large parking lots. Gonna get my number pinned on my suit and then go for the warm-up. Got number 109. It means there's at least 109 guys in this race. It's very busy. There's a large crowd today because today there's also a race for the professionals and Chris Froome is gonna race. Bauke Mollema is gonna race, and also Groenewegen is gonna race. So that's some big guys from the Tour de France. So there's a lot of people coming to watch. Since it's a speed suit with the zipper in the back, it's pretty hard to get the number on. So I first put on the number and then put on the skin suit. Doing my warm-up, only on the rollers for about 4 minutes, and I'm already breaking a sweat. In the sun, it's pretty warm actually. The whole week was forecasted to rain. Only today it would get better. See you by the start. Monday I wanted to go to Boxmeer, which is another race where a lot of the Tour de France riders go, but the weather forecast was thunderstorms and rain, hail, so I cancelled. Anyway, we're here today. Course is 4.5 kilometers with 8 turns. It's a figure 8, so it's a lot longer than last week in Monster. So I think the speed will be high again, and it might be a bit easier because there's long straights. 60-kilometer race, and it's in the amateur class, so 1 class below the elite. Teammates are present.
Go! Cycling fanatics!
Who needs a warm-up with weather like this? I heard it's gonna be busy and it's gonna go fast from the start. So plan is to be in the start early enough so I can start a little bit in the front and not have to chase the whole group and spend all this energy to get into the front early enough before everything breaks. 25 minutes to the start, so I still have some time. In this warm-up, just doing easy 10 minutes heart rate just up to that aero zone, and then just some power accelerations to really boost up my body, get it ready. Just boosting up that heart rate a bit, putting tension on those legs, and if it's gonna go on straight from the start, I'll be ready to go. Again, I'm racing the Alto wheels from Spark Wheelworks. It's probably my last ride because I'll take them back to Los Angeles and swap them over for another set. I'm gonna be testing some different wheel sets for Spark, so I will need to tell you about the wheels. I think I'm gonna do that in a separate video. These are the wheels I'm talking about. Very nice wheels. That video is coming up as well.
2 hours later.
In the cooling down now. It's about half an hour after the race, and again I got cramps at the end. I don't know the reason why I'm getting these cramps. I even sculled a can of pickled juice before the race, which is supposed to counteract cramping muscles, but sure as hell it didn't work and it tastes like shit. I don't recommend drinking pickled juice, especially not if you don't like pickles. I got a few Preem sprints, so I'm gonna pick those up later. And for now, here's the race footage. Okay, so here's the race footage, and as I'm editing this vlog, I found out that my GoPro did some malfunctions and it didn't record the whole race. So I actually only have 12 minutes of race footage, which is up until somewhere halfway the last lap. So I'm gonna show you the stuff that I have, and I'm gonna explain what happened before the footage starts. So as you can see, this was already 1 hour and about 7 minutes in the race. At the bottom, my power. Left, you can see the speed, my cadence, the distance. We already covered 48 kilometers, heartbeat, and then in the top right you can see the track layout, and it's a figure 8. The race is called the acht van Chaam, which is the 8 from Chaam, and 4.5 kilometers, so it's a long straight out of the village and back into the city center. And here we're coming back into the little bit tighter part of the track, and also bumpy on these little brick stones. From here on, it's 3 laps to the finish. There was a breakaway of 3 riders, the same team. I didn't know, I didn't see it happen. And about 4 laps for the finish, I actually noticed, I heard somebody say it, and that's when I tried to put on the gas and close that gap. So here, me and a couple other guys are pushing pretty hard and getting a lot of speed to try and close the gap to those 3 riders. Here this guy is passing me, he's like, "You want to close the gap?" I said yes, and he just flies off, and he puts a lot of effort. This is down Switters. He's got a lot of power to really boost up that speed. So we were trying to get back on those 3 riders in the front, but every once in a while there was somebody that was messing with the organization, and at the end we didn't really get it to happen. Anyway, here you can see the lap. This is the last straight up into the finishing straight, which is a nice tarmac street, nice and wide, and it was actually quite long. I think about 300 meters, 350 meters to the finish. And we have 2 laps to go at this moment. 2 laps to go, so that's about 10 kilometers. And right now I still thought we would be able to catch those 3 riders in the front, and we would have if there was enough guys that would work with us, but unfortunately that was not the case. Here I'm still working hard, but as we had a little gap on that finish straight, we were pushing to maybe jump the gap to those breakaway riders together, but at the end the whole peloton was chasing us again. So here I stopped riding, and I wanted the other guys to take over, and that really didn't happen. There was enough riders, there was enough different teams, but there was no organization. Here we come up to that big street back into the village. Here a couple of riders start accelerating, so that was nice. It was a nice pace. So as we should rotate right now, this guy's going off the front, and then the other guy right here, he doesn't want to go. I just tell him to go, and he's like, "Well, go yourself." Well, if you don't want to go, what are you doing in the front? I mean, you can be in the back, but don't screw up organization when you're not gonna be ready to put down some effort. So I don't know what he was thinking, but stay more in the back if you're not gonna be able to race. And here he is again, his second wheel. So every time he screws up the organization. Coming through start finish. This is 1 lap to go. This is the last lap of the race. Here it's already getting pretty hectic, pretty crowded. Everybody is trying to go to the front now, but we're all riding for 4th place, unfortunately. So here I moved quite far back, somewhere in wheel 20, 30, I don't know, and I want to gain some places. So here I just started riding next to the rest because I needed to move up to the front. Moving up a little bit. Downside is I'm completely in the wind, but at this point it was more important to get to overtake some other riders and get us some places in the front. So here we approach one pretty tight turn before we end up on another very wide street, riding back to the start finishing part of the race. As you can see, it's pretty hectic. Everybody's moving left and right all over the place, and it's all about getting into your position I already knew it was going to be a sprint, so I wanted to get into maybe second or third wheel for that last straightaway. And at this straight, this is a very wide street, and everybody started moving up, and it was very crowded. Here again, people attacking, people speeding up, and I'm moving a bit too far back. I wasn't happy with that, and from here it's only 4 turns to the finish. I'm gonna pause it for a second because this is all the footage I have. My GoPro camera didn't work very well today, and it didn't record all the footage, so I'm missing most part of the race. From here, 4 turns until the finish, and pretty much in every part I moved up a couple places, hitting second place through that last turn and then sprinting for the finish, which I got 4th. So that was the first of the bunch, but 4th place in the race.
1, 2 en 3. En dan volgens 4 en uiteindelijk de absoluut peloton. 1, 2 en 3.
Well, that was the race. Somehow 3 riders of the same team got to break away, and I didn't notice. Nobody really reacted while we were with a lot of teams with multiple riders. I don't know what happened. I think I need an extra pair of eyes. About 4 laps to the finish. We tried to close the gap, but nobody was working together, which is crazy because there were a lot of riders of different teams, and there was only one team with 3 riders in that breakaway. So put down a lot of work, but didn't succeed. And then the last lap, the last couple turns, it was just a race to the finish for place number 4. So I sprinted and I got 4th place, but I'm not here for the 4th place. I was racing for podium, so I don't know, crazy. Alright, so that was the race. This was it for today. Tomorrow I'm catching up with Cycling Maven. You guys know him, he's from Australia. He was doing a tour around Europe to catch the Giro and the Tour de France. He was doing videos on those races, and tomorrow we're going to be doing a nice spin around Haarlem, which is a city in the Netherlands, not Harlem, New York. And this weekend I'm going to go to Los Angeles for the Manhattan Grand Prix, which is going to be a big race with $8,000 prize money. So fingers crossed for that. See ya! 109. Verkuijl.
Jasper.
Ja, dankjewel. Dankjewel. Alright, so I got some preems. 2 sprint preems and the 4th place. Sprint preems are €10, so that's not gonna get me a fancy dinner, but